if the Trump administration continues with their erratic tariff policies, which they have been implementing over the last several months. So, good morning to everyone.
Good morning.
And our thanks to Cash Sharma, president of Henry Bears Park Toy, for opening his business to us. Henry Bears Park is it's a neighborhood toy store that has served communities in Greater Boston for more than 40 years. Before there was Build-A-Bear, there was Henry Bears.
That's right.
Our thanks to you for making the birthdays, the Christmases, Hanukkahs, holidays, graduations, and more the most special occasions for all of these years. The great Fred Rogers, otherwise known as Mr. Rogers, once said that it's the things we play with and the people who make us play that make a great difference in our lives. But for toy stores like this, instead of defending playtime, they are having to defend their bottom lines because of Trump's tariffs. On what should be a fun occasion, a visit to a beloved toy store, we find ourselves in uncertain times as Donald Trump's reckless tariff policies continue to put neighborhood stores like this in jeopardy. Trump's Liberation Day tariffs have cost small businesses across the country already tens of billions of dollars. Small business owners across the country that ordered goods thinking they were paying one price were shocked to find a big tariff bill courtesy of Donald Trump, including with their merchandise. Just one example. A children's store in Nantucket was shocked to find they owed $1,266 in a tariff for a $3,100 order. The business Pinwheels has been around for 36 years and survived hurricanes, pandemics, but Donald Trump's threatened to put them out of business in just a matter of months. And the story is the same at coffee shops, restaurants, everyday corner stores across the Commonwealth. Toy stores, like one here today, saw markups of 150% on their products, forcing orders and operations to slow or to cease, and workers to be furloughed. Instead of toys for tots, Trump is delivering tariffs for tots and their toys. These are the kind of shocks a small business simply cannot afford. Even Walmart, the world's largest retailer, says it can't absorb the cost of tariffs. How is a small independent store supposed to survive? So Trump is playing games with small businesses for long enough. This administration's yo-yo tariff policies have changed more than 50 times since he took office, depending upon the country or whatever else just pops into his mind. And that's an impossible place for a small business to be in. A big company can plan for a longer period of time. Maybe they can ride it out. But smaller businesses, they go week to week, month to month. They don't have the ability to have the uncertainty of an economic cloud over their head for an indefinite period of time. They need certainty. They need predictability. They need to know what the price is going to be, what the tax is going to be. And right now, they have no idea. And that harms small businesses. Why is that important? It's important because 97% of all businesses who engage in trade are small businesses. And that accounts for 30% of all trade in our nation. But they're not like Apple. They're not like Google. They're not like other big companies. They can't go to the table with Donald Trump and give him $1 million at his inauguration party and say, get me out of it. To a large extent, they're on their own. They have to try to figure this out. And they don't have big lawyers and big lobbyists down in Washington helping them to figure out how to survive on Massachusetts Avenue in Cambridge, on Main Street all across our country. They need certainty from the government. They need to know that the taxes, the tariffs are going to be predictable, and then they'll plan for it. But they can't live in a world where there's no certainty. And they can't live in a world where they have a tax bill, a tariff bill, that's so large that they can't pay their own bills to stay open. So that's what we're talking about. This current tariff pause isn't relief. It's just more needless toying with our economy and small businesses that need certainty for the future. So Trump hasn't said anything that gives any real certainty to small businesses. He said to small businesses, they should be patient. We should imagine we are shopping in a luxury store, that we should all buy fewer dolls, he says. Well, what he doesn't get is that these tariffs are devastating to small businesses, and some will be forced to close permanently as a result. Businesses are hesitant to place orders not knowing what tariffs will be weeks or months from now. By June, Massport expects there will be 35% fewer shipments coming into the port of Boston than June of last year. That damage is already done because those ships would have already have to be out on the water around the world. A business like a cargo ship can't just pivot on a dime or on Donald Trump's whims. Small businesses are the economic heart of our communities, and they deserve better. We must give small businesses the certainty which they need. So I'm going to be moving next week to enact my Small Business Liberation Act on the floor of the Senate. And that bill is going to exempt all small businesses from Trump's tariffs and finally free small business from the cloud of uncertainty hanging over their head. Now, why do I feel good about this bill? Well, the National Chamber of Commerce has said that all small businesses should be exempt. So I'm aligned with the National Chamber of Commerce. I'm aligned with the chambers of commerce all across America. Exempt small businesses from these tariffs. They cannot live in a world of uncertainty with regard to what their bills are going to be. So I'm going to force a vote on the Senate floor on the Small Business Liberation Act to see whether or not Republicans have the courage, have the conscience to stand up against Donald Trump. They say they care about small businesses. I'm going to give every Republican a chance to vote to protect small businesses from Donald Trump's tariffs. And so that's going to be occurring over the next week, and it's going to be a big day. And my hope is that the pressure will be so great that Republicans will be forced to beg Donald Trump to give the relief to small businesses by announcing that those tariffs will not be imposed. Because right now, Trump's tariffs are really turning Main Street into Pain Street for small businesses all across our country. They really have very great difficulty in trying to deal with this uncertainty. And Massachusetts Avenue and small businesses such as this aren't merely storefronts selling goods. They create opportunities for individuals and families to connect. They offer a sense of belonging. They create generational attachments, and they keep money circulating in the local economy. And we need to keep these small businesses healthy so that everyone else can be healthy. So at this time, I would like to welcome Cass to tell us how Trump's tariff games are hurting his small businesses. So welcome, and thank you so much for allowing us to be here in your beautiful store. Beautiful.
All right, thank you, sir. Good morning, everyone, and thank you, Senator Markey, for visiting us today. We just opened yesterday, so timing is perfect. And for giving small businesses like ours and many others in the room a platform to be heard. I'm Cass Sharma. I have the privilege of being the owner of Henry Bears Park, a family-owned toy store that's been part of this community for almost 50 years. From our first small shop in Cambridge, we have now grown to 10 locations with almost 100 team members that come to work every day excited to spark joy and creativity in children's lives. We know our customers by name. We see kids grow up. We help parents and grandparents pick just that right birthday gift. We build dollhouses, wrap presents, create spaces like this that kids and adults light up walking into. We see ourselves truly as a local hub for joy and human connection. The curated collection of playthings we carry are more than just products. They are learning tools to help build imagination and a sense of exploration. Each toy that you see here is thoughtfully selected based on its design, play value, and how it would help a child to discover the world around them and within themselves. After all, they say play is the work of children, and a healthy play diet helps build and nourish the minds of our future generations. We are proud to carry many beloved local American brands, brands that are designed, tested, and developed right here at home, often by companies founded by parents, educators, and innovators. But just like so many industries, the reality is that a lot of manufacturing happens overseas. That's just how global supply chains have evolved, and it affects businesses large and small. For an independent business like ours and others in the room, any change in the global supply environment, whether it's tariffs, shipping delays, or raw material cost, can be a huge challenge. Sudden increase in tariffs affect all aspects of our operations and what we can offer to our customers. It impacts pricing, product availability, selection, and also our decisions related to investment and growth. It requires some very real hard decisions to be made. Do we pass the costs on to our customers? But if we do, how will that affect access to learning resources for families? Do we delay investment in new locations? You know, we opened this before the tariffs were announced. The next one will take twice as much courage and resources. Do we scale back our product selection? Do we put in a hiring freeze? But that affects our local high school and college kids who often start their first job in stores like these. We have worked through challenges for 5 decades and will navigate this one too. Resilience and not giving up is in the DNA of core American small business. So we're not here to complain. Please don't take this as a complaint. We are here to say that small businesses matter, and the ripple effects of national policy decisions often land hardest on those trying to make an honest living at the local level. We're not a giant corporation, as Senator Markey said. We don't have deep pockets, nor do we have a strong legal department in D.C. What we hope is that voices like ours are part of the conversation. We are neither asking for any special treatment, nor even making a political statement. We are simply appealing for trade policies that level the playing field and allow small businesses to compete fairly and continue contributing to their local economies. We are incredibly grateful for the attention and time, Senator Markey, you are giving to this issue, and for recognizing the important role small businesses play in keeping local communities strong, vibrant, and connected. We knew Eddie the ice cream man would get it. And to our customers, thank you. Every time you choose to shop local, you're supporting real people, real families, and a kind of retail experience that still believes in joy, wonder, and play. So,
beautiful.
Thank you.
And could you just, beautiful job. And maybe you could just briefly just mention some of the countries from which these toys arrive.
Yeah, so it's such a global economy that the design and development happens all over America, Europe, and Asia, and the manufacturing, just like that, happens all over the world. Maybe more than half come from Asia, the other half come from Europe, South America. So there's really, certain products will get impacted significantly more, which will limit our ability to offer a good curated selection.
Beautiful.
Yeah.
Thank you. Much appreciated.
Thank
you,
you, sir.
Cass.
Thank you.
Thank you for having us here. And next we're going to hear from Megan Ellis, who is the Chief Financial Officer of Schilling Incorporated. Welcome.
Yes, thank you. Thank you very much. Good morning, and thank you, Senator Markey, for having me here today and for your leadership on this issue. And Cass, thank you very much for hosting this event. It's great to see another Henry Barris Park store. My name is Megan Ellis. I am the Chief Financial Officer at Schilling, a Massachusetts-based toy company that has been delivering a mix of classic and innovative toys to families for decades. In fact, we are celebrating our 50th anniversary this year as well.
My kids have a bunch of your toys.
Oh, wonderful.
They probably came from here.
They really did, yeah. So, this Jack in the Box that we make could be purchased in a toy store for $24.99. After 30% tariffs, it will be $31.99. This tea set has gone from $34.99 to $44.99. Children need toys for play and healthy development. We all know how much screens have taken over, often replacing imaginative play at an alarmingly young age. That's why these independent toy stores are so important. They bring play back to kids. They offer variety and discovery, often stocking unique toys that big box retailers don't carry. For example, this toy store is one of our longest standing and most valued partners. They carry dozens of our products, while larger retailers might just carry 3 to 5. Stores like this are magical to children. Can you imagine a world without them? And it's not just toys. Take the classic lava lamp, for example. That's one of our products. An American icon for decades. It's not a toy, but it's part of our company and a symbol of nostalgia. Before the tariffs in 2018, a lava lamp retailed for around $19.99. Now, due to 55% tariffs currently on lava lamps, that same product could cost as much as $40. At that price, this classic product may disappear entirely, along with many of the toys that you see in this shop right now. The tariffs that have been implemented have brought extreme uncertainty to our business and all toy manufacturers across the United States. We have lost precious manufacturing time and incurred hundreds of thousands of dollars on tariffs that were not expected. The tariffs and ongoing uncertainty have already caused us to reduce staff and raise prices. These higher costs ultimately hit consumers as we cannot absorb them. Reducing the tariffs to 30% will not make these problems go away. For the past month, we have had to pause production and shipping because 145% tariffs were not viable. Now, with the 90-day reduction, we are cautiously restarting. But which items should we make now, and which should we wait to see if the tariffs decrease? What if they increase? Should we ship as much as possible in the next 90 days? What prices should we charge our customers if we don't know how much something will ultimately cost? This uncertainty not only makes it impossible to plan, it's bad for business. Like many small to mid-sized American businesses, we design our products here in the United States but manufacture them in China. That is not unique. Over 80% of all toys sold in the United States are made in China. The industry moved overseas decades ago, and for small companies like ours, there are few viable alternatives. We are not just working with one manufacturer. We make over 500 toys, from wood to metal, plastic, plush, and filled impulse toys. All of these require a different manufacturing process and hand labor to produce. Regardless of the merit in the notion of restoring U.S. manufacturing, to move out of China will take years and in some cases will just not be feasible for small to mid-sized businesses. If the tariffs continue, these businesses will not survive. The capital required to move manufacturing, the lack of current suitable factories elsewhere, and the complexity of toy production make this a massive challenge. And with trade uncertainty extending beyond China, it's unclear where we could even go. The tariffs currently in place and the constant uncertainty around them are having a crippling effect on our business and our industry. At Schilling, we sell to over 5,000 independent toy and gift stores, the vast majority of which are small, independent mom and pop shops, the kind you find on main streets across America. In fact, 96% of toy sellers are small to medium-sized businesses. These shops are now trying to stock up for the holiday season, investing significant capital into inventory. With tariffs driving up costs, even at a reduced 30% rate, it's becoming harder for them to afford the products they need. Some may not be able to make those investments at all. If they can't stock their shelves, they can't survive. I am not being dramatic. The Toy Association did a survey of toy stores and manufacturers, and roughly 50% are concerned that they could go out of business in the next few months. Keeping tariffs...
Can you say that again?
The Toy Association did a survey of toy stores and manufacturers throughout the country, and roughly 50% are concerned they could go out of business in the next few months. Wow. Keeping tariffs on small and medium-sized businesses will inevitably drive them out of business. This will open the door for non-U.S. companies to sell low-cost, low-quality toys that do not meet the safety standards that U.S. toy manufacturers adhere to, making toys that do enter the country not as safe for our children. That's why Senator Markey's leadership on this issue is so important. His advocacy to exempt small businesses from these harmful tariffs is critical, not just for companies like Schilling, but for thousands of small businesses across the country that are facing the same struggle. We at Schilling fully support Senator Markey's efforts. This legislation gives us hope, not just for toy manufacturers and sellers, but for the many industries and families these businesses support. Thank you.
Great. Thank you so
very
much. Thank you for being here. And again, I just would like to make it clear that my bill exempts all small businesses from the 10% tariffs, which the Trump administration imposed across the board in the beginning of April, just completely exempted, and will also exempt from the reciprocal tariffs that are currently paused for 90 days. That's a cloud out until the middle of July. And so big companies, they have an ability maybe to withstand that kind of uncertainty. A pause for a small business is not a green light to go ahead and to continue to make big investments, big decisions down the line. So that's the situation that we're in. We're joined by an incredible group of business leaders here, including Jonathan Henke, who represents Dedricks, who is here. Michael Cantor from Cambridge Naturals, thank you so much for being here. Vineet Malik from Stone Showcase of New England, thank you for being here, much appreciated. From Kamal Ganglani from Redstone Liquors, who is here as well. And we're also joined by Javin Sabrina Wheeler, City Councilor. Thank you so much for being here. Patty Nolan, Cambridge City Councilor. Thank you so much for being here. And Kathy over here, thank you for joining us. And our great state senator, Pat Jalen, who is here as well. Would you like to come up, Senator, and just say a word about this?
Everybody says, what can we do? And you're doing it. You're being creative. You're being a leader. Thank you. My son is a small, tiny business. Gets things from China. Thank you.
No, thank you. No, appreciate it. Thank you, Senator. So, are there any questions? No, from the press. Okay, yeah, I'm sorry. Okay, yeah, please. Questions? Anybody?
I have a question then.
No, from the press. Then we can talk. Yeah, we can talk. Yeah, we can talk then. Yeah. So anyway, I want to thank you all for coming, and let's go shopping here. Let's bring some business here to Mass Ave. And so thank you all so much. Thank you for being here.
Really appreciate it. That's great. And really
Great. Thank you very much.
applaud you for